All righty, Jasmine. And it has been lovely chatting with you
Thank you.
this morning. Of course, of course. Now, Jasmine, I want to go ahead and jump into and just discuss your professional experience briefly. Looking at your resume here, you have extensive executive and administrative skills. So you
Yes.
worked as an office manager, you worked as a administrative assistant, working as an executive assistant, so you have a transferable skills that my clients are seeking. Jasmine, I would love for you to give me further insight as far as your professional experience.
Of course. So I've been doing administrative work for 4 or 5 years now. I started as an admin at a staffing company called AA Associates. That was more so like catering to more schools, and then also like security. So I was just interviewing, helping with admin and administrative work, just drafting documents, doing payroll, also just like interviewing the candidates to see if they're a good fit with us. We dealt with a lot of non-US citizens, so I'll just make sure their visas were up to date into the system, just grabbing and pulling data from the system and just making sure all the information was correct. And then I moved into Creative Inc. and I started as a I started as a just a regular associate, and then I moved into a project manager. That was more so just helping with the operations inside and outside. So hiring, doing schedules, and also doing more so making sure that the COVID testing was up to date, making sure that we had all the testing shipped off to the facilities to get tested, just communicating with the customers who have come from different countries or different, places, just to make sure to get a COVID test. That ended in like 2022. They decided to stop the operations in Orlando and just continued in Miami and California. And then also I did Manpower Group. It's also a staffing company. I was directed as an office manager for Raymond James, which is a financial company. I was just doing more so of the ordering supplies, doing document control, clearing out the files in the computer and the systems, making sure that their actual system was up to date in Salesforce. And also we use Rippling, which is I helped with the HR administrative side of it also. And then after that, I moved into IDR. It's also a staffing company, and it's more so I was a placeholder just to clear out information to help them organize information more so, pulling data from their system and clearing it in a report on Excel, doing emails, clearing emails from their inboxes, making sure that all the documents were up to date on the training materials, because I was helping with also training and hiring on their end, but also just being more so of like a support to the executive offices and the cells. And then I did Performance Roofing, which is a construction company. I worked there for a year, and I got let go due to company losses. They had to break down on some. So I was working first. I started as a operational scheduler. I was helping with the labor, making sure the labor was done on time, making sure that we had all the materials, just communicating with the purchasing team. And also after doing that for a couple of months, they had a position open as an executive assistant to the CEO and also the COO. So I applied for that and got the position because I was really cool with the CEOs, and they really liked how I worked. So I started working like that for them, doing a lot of proposals for project managers, making sure the builders and everybody was up to date on when we were dropping down on the materials, the shingles and all that stuff, coordinating on his calendar, what meetings he had with investors or with the teams in our company, and also the builders, and making sure that we had a good connections with the ABC and all the shingle marketing executives, and being there on calendars, making sure the meetings were up to date, also hiring, pulling out ZipRecruiter, Indeed, just sourcing through candidates to see who could fill out positions, also just working with sales, doing their payroll. making sure that the commissions were correct and sending them to HR. That's more managing calendars, travel arrangements, parties, corporate parties, anything like that I was in charge of.
That sounds amazing. I appreciate you giving me that extensive background when it comes to your professional
Thank you.
experience. Of course, like I mentioned, you have the transferable skills when it comes to answering phones, email communications, handling conversations, communications with clientele and customers as well, all the way up to dealing with the executive team, which is the CEO and COO of the companies. I can only imagine that your day to day has been extremely busy in all the roles that you have worked in,
Of course.
and being able to multitask and organize yourself. How did you organize yourself and being in such a busy, environment that you worked in previously?
So easy way that would help me is to create a list of to-do lists, making sure that everything in my calendar is up to date. Like I say, if I had a report that said at 11 a.m., I would make sure I have that on my calendar and say, hey, that you need to do this before 11 a.m. or before this date, the deadline. I'll just make sure that I have it very organized and writing it down and double checking my work and double checking what needs to be done. I will make sure that will be done. That's how I keep myself organized in most places. Just
Absolutely.
using my calendar and to-do list and just writing every day of my work, saying, hey, like 11 a.m. this is what I did. And this is, so I can back up myself. And also, like, if they were like, if my boss like, hey, what did you do? And I'm like, oh, this is what I did today and this is what I completed. So that's more so how it helps me stay organized.
That's right. And it sounds like you have great communication when it comes down to your manager or your boss coming up to you and saying,
Right.
hey, Jasmine, what have you done? You're like, well, I have my list right here. I've achieved this. And it keeps you accountable as well.
Of course.
You have that list. So that's a great way to maintain yourself organized. You mentioned that you had email communications. What system were you utilizing? What systems have you used in the past?
Outlook. More so of Microsoft. Anything Microsoft, I'm very advanced in. Excel, PowerPoint, Word, Outlook, Power BI, Dynamics. That's more so like everything that I have used.
Amazing, amazing. Have you utilized spreadsheets as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Excel.
And awesome. And what would you say your level of utilizing Excel? Is it more of a beginner? Is it advanced?
Advanced, more so like 8 or 9. It could be a 10, but sometimes a lot of jobs there is basic functions. So if it was a 10, it was more so like I have to remind myself on the extreme functions, but in the basic functions, I'm a 10.
Amazing. That sounds lovely. I asked because a lot of companies do utilize spreadsheets,
Yeah.
something as simple as entering data or even making a spreadsheet. So I'd love to know, exactly where your skill set lies with that. Tell me, what are you looking to get out of your next role?
I just want something that a company, as far as the culture of the company, I want to be part of, making me feel like I'm a family. That's something that's very important, and I feel like it's missing in a lot of jobs I've been. I give my all. I'm a very good worker. I'm a hard worker, but when I feel like I'm not appreciative enough to, move up or say, hey, like you've been such a good worker. This is like how we can recognize you. That's something that I felt like I need, like, in a change of something like I feel I'm a part of. I love helping people. I'm a person people. So I just want to be around people and making sure that my coworkers and my, like, anybody who I come in contact with goes home happy. Like, that's just how I feel. Also stability, benefits. I'm looking for something that's just going to help me in my career, where it's going to take me in the long run, because I'm not getting younger. I'm only getting older.
If only we get younger.
You get younger. So
Yeah,
I'm looking into something that that would be with me for a long time. It's more so.
absolutely. That was very, very well said, Jasmine. My last question is, when are you looking to start a new role?
In a week or two.
In about a week or two. Now, if we were to offer you, if a client would come back and say, hey, I want Jasmine to start, right away, is that something that you would like to do? I know you're currently working. Would you need a 2-week notice before you start
Yes,
a new role?
I'm in my 2-week notice now. It's my last week.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. All right. Well, that's perfect, Jasmine. It has been truly a pleasure speaking to you
Thank
thus
you.
far this morning, and getting some of the professional experience. I'm going to stop the recording, but don't jump off just yet. I want to continue chatting with you.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.